didn't celebrate. I don't know why. Probably because he felt it was too late as well.
What was there to celebrate?
Yeah,
Being
but
fresh.
it was actually still 3-1 when he scored.
Yeah, it's enough.
Okay, maybe. But good win for Bournemouth. Good win for Bournemouth. And Frank Lampard should be worried now because he's on a run of form. He's had no wins in his last 5 games, so he should be worried. But all kudos to Bournemouth. They deserve the win. They deserve to progress.
Deserved win for Bournemouth, and away from that, we had Leicester City taking on Newport County. Of course, on paper, it was all road lead to Leicester City. You know, all we expected. They were home. Newport County against them. We expected a very good performance from them. We expected them to come good, to show us something, and that they did. Justin had a phenomenal game, and he capped that with a goal. What a goal he was! Yeah. You had Jamie Vardy doing Vardy stuff on his 400th appearance for Leicester City. I was actually blown away by that, knowing that he has appeared 400 times for Leicester City, and that's just amazing. And he capped that beautifully with a brace, and it could have even been an hat-trick anyway. He didn't get that, but it was quite the performance for them. You're seeing Brendan Rodgers' side do the business in the Premier League, deciding to get to that point, get to the place. They're not there yet, okay, but at least they're climbing away from the relegation zone, and now they're through to the 4th round of the FL Cup. Deserve it, yeah?
Absolutely deserve it. The League One side, Newport County, they knew they were facing problems. From the blast of the whistle, you could see the hunger in Jamie Vardy's eyes, in all of them's eyes. Jamie Justin, as you just mentioned, was phenomenal. Was going back and forth. I was like, you are a right back, bro. Relax. I'm seeing you at the left back. I'm seeing you at the midfield, and it was amazing. Their new centre back, the David Luiz lookalike, face astounding as usual. Newport County didn't know what hit them apparently, but the Vardy train hit them. If I'm to explain it to them, the Newport County guys. Well, very good win for Leicester. Very good win for Brendan Rodgers' side. They have found their mojo back. They are on tip-top form, and it's looking good. Especially for Jamie Vardy, 400 appearances, capped with 2 goals. Especially that second goal. I was wondering if I was that keeper, immediate second Vardy scored that goal. As he's celebrating and pursuing him, like, why would you do that for me? It's unfair, but great one.
It dragged the poor guy, and well, that's a proper pushes finish. Took out everyone that could possibly be in his way, and boom, it was a goal. So Leicester City are through to the next round. We get to see who they're going to be facing on in the 4th round later on today, after we see Manchester United and Villa face off. A very interesting knockout, though. We have to mention Brentford taking on Gillingham. It was stats was all in favor of Brentford. Thomas Frank's side, they came out with the goods. They showed what they were capable of doing. But apparently they didn't do that in front of goal, because how do you create a couple of chances, have 7 shots on target, and then you convert 1? Then on the counterpart side, you had Gillingham having 1 shot on target. 1 shot
all game.
Yeah. That 1 shot was on target, and they scored that 1-1. We went on to penalties, and they went through on penalties 6-5. Talking about Gillingham now, I think Thomas Frank would have been very upset with his boys after the game. It wasn't for lack of chances, like I mentioned. It wasn't because they lacked quality on the night. They just lacked the cutting edge that they needed to get the job done.
True. As the saying goes, football is cruel. We absolutely saw it in this game, because this game, if going by stats, as we just saw, it was all about Brentford. It was all Brentford from beginning till the end. Especially with the fact that Ivan Toney was actually rested for the last Premier League game, not intentionally rested, because he had a
yellow suspension,
accumulated yellow card, so he couldn't play. So he was available for today's game. That's yesterday's game against Gillingham. Fresh legs, fresh Ivan Toney. 3rd minute, boom, he has scored already. We were like, hey, Gillingham,
you don't chop palm.
You get up 26. Apparently, no. The 1 shot on one chance, clean goal, and they held tight. Lackluster attacking from Brentford. So many waste chances, so many missed opportunities in that game. Thomas Frank, as you said, should be very pained and angry at his boys for doing that kind of thing. But it is what it is. This is football. you play 90 minutes, you attack all the 90 minutes, and somebody else just go once and get the goal and seal the top. But apparently, the penalty was penalty is anybody's game. So it was Gillingham's day to win the shootout, and I hope to God Gillingham faces one team in the next round.
I know who you're asking for, but hey, I don't think you're gonna get it. Okay.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm hoping. It's not bad.
All right, and then we had another Premier League matchup: Wolves taking on Leeds United. What a game that one! It was quite feisty. It was interesting. We had action here and there, which I think for both parties, seeing as the game ended with just one goal, a part of you should wonder, like, these are sides that have more than enough attacking options, very exciting players up top and all of that. But hey, it was the day for Wolves as they got themselves through to the next round of the competition, and Leeds United should rue the chances that they did miss, should rue the fact that they weren't able to take the game to Wolves where they would have wanted. But hey, I think they get to focus on the Premier League. Yes.
Yeah, it's a match, and his Wolves needs to focus on the Premier League now after they've been outstayed by Wolves. And the goal scorer in Bukayo Sumari was Traore, I beg your pardon. His first goal for Wolves, and what a time to get your goal! 85th minute winner. After Leeds had been actually it was a game of 2 hours. They attacked, and this Wolves too actually attacked them. Harrison Reed was very, very unlucky not to get a goal for Wheatley, and for Leeds United, he had a very good game after being off the team for a while. So it's a match boys played well. If you ask me, they played well. They did their part, but Wolves were the better team. They got the much needed win, and that should be able to boost their confidence going to the next game into the Premier League, because they have been shambolic in the Premier League. Currently sit 19th. Literally, them are the 20th team. There's no difference.
Points, yeah.
So this should help. This should give them a little bit of confidence heading into the next game for them.
Okay, and the fact that a new coach gets in, and let's see
Monday
what Gennaro Lopetegui will be doing with the side, and if he can rescue them from that place they're currently seated in the EPL table. Away from that, we had a very, very interesting game as well. Nottingham Forest were in action last night, and it was quite the game. He delivered on the Reds, delivered on the action. I don't think Antonio Conte did think that his boys are going to be ousted by a bottom-placed Nottingham Forest. I mean, I know the EFL Cup is different from the Premier League. Okay, if you ask me, we know it's different. But the Tottenham Forest, this is Tottenham Forest. Well, they were owned by Nottingham, so okay, maybe there is that. Tottenham Hotspur, they should be worried. They should be worried because we're talking about their last round of games in the Premier League. Considered 2 goals against Bournemouth, had to come back and win that 3-2. Took on Liverpool, were nowhere to be found in the first half. Regained their mojo in the second, got a goal. It wasn't enough for them to get the maximum point. Now they took on Nottingham Forest, who pretty much on the better side on the day.
All through the game.
They were better. They were heads, shoulders and feet above Tottenham Hotspur, and I think that should cause Tottenham some problem. Going into this round of games, it's the EFL Cup. We expected that an Antonio Conte side would be playing for something in the league, would be playing for something in the cup games as well. But now they are out.
Apparently, when you started this talk, you were like, Tottenham Hotspur should be worried. I do not see Tottenham Hotspur getting worried. I see Antonio Conte should be worried himself. That Daniel Levy is already looking at him like, hello, this is what we hired you for. Number one, your Premier League campaign as it is right now, it is shaky because you only get to beat the mid-table teams and the lower teams.
But still say first though.
I'm coming. It's still early days. They have failed to impress over the big 6, over the rest of the big 6. The only time they have impressed me facing all the old big 6 was the second half against Liverpool. That was it. The whole game against Chelsea, they were not there. Against United, after facing United, they were not there. Arsenal, missing. Liverpool first half, missing. So that aside, go check Tottenham in the Champions League as well. Same thing. If not for the fact,
by the skin of their teeth.
By the skin of their teeth, they were level on points with the team that came second. If not for the fact that
Goals.
how would I put it? Goals difference was their main issue. Was the
The
bane for
saving
them to
grace.
qualify. They would have been out of the Champions League. They qualified out of their group from the Champions League. How would I put it? Without impressing anybody. I was not impressed in any form. The Premier League for they are fourth, yeah, but they could have been better. They could be better right now if they are taking the chances against the big six. None. Now look at the League Cup against Nottingham Forest. Liverpool, when they played Nottingham Forest, they had injury problems and they still played. But Nottingham deserves to win that game. You knew. Yesterday, you cannot tell me that Tottenham played at all because they started Kane,
Perisic.
Ryan Sessegnon.
Who was a menace against Liverpool, yeah?
They started literally everybody minus
Igor Lloris
Lloris.
wasn't, yeah.
So I don't see them having an excuse. Even if they started at Team D, they are still part of the Tottenham FC Football Club. So why did they not come to the party? League literally non-existent. Champions League, League Cup now. Bye bye. They are going home. So I feel Antonio Conte has a whole lot of work to do regarding what is available to him. Like how are your boys playing like this? You got beat by Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest had the red card in between the games. In 75th minute, they had the red card.
And they still couldn't find a way back.
Not even one goal. So Antonio Conte should be worried.
Okay, and let's see if Tottenham will be able to salvage something out of their season as it does progress. I mean, okay, this is one less competition for them to worry about.
Yeah, true.
Trying to look at the positive side and all that. Perhaps they focus on now the round of 16 in the Champions League and focus on the Premier League campaign and try and consolidate their spot for Champions League spot next season.
Yeah.
All right, away from there, we had the table toppers Arsenal facing Brighton. And over Albion, Brighton are high flying. We have to say that they have gotten back their mojo under their new manager and they've been delivering on the goals. Had quite a game against Chelsea. Very exciting one for them. And they built on that. And now they took on Arsenal, and Brighton and over Albion were able to knock Mikel Arteta's side out of the EFL Cup. Arsenal went ahead, goal courtesy Eddie Nketiah.
Beautiful goal.
Beautiful goal, yeah, it was. And then we had Daniel Welbeck convert from the spot, and Mitoma and Tariq Lamptey getting the crowning goal for them. 3-1 it ended at the Emirates, not for Mikel Arteta's side. And do you think that going forward, now one less competition to worry about, yeah? Do you think going forward for Arsenal, trying to give us a title chase, a title race? They haven't sitting at the top of the table since the league started. Do you think that the lack of squad depth, because one can argue that was what happened, because of the fact that the side that was called on, I mean, it was time for the big boys, I guess, to get a bit of break, get some rest. But the second side, I would say the Team B, didn't impress as much. Not for lack of trying. They had their chances in front of goal. They couldn't do what Arsenal have been doing all season, which is get your chances, convert it, lock up shop. They couldn't lock it. Brighton actually could have scored up to 4 goals if they let them.
4 is actually cutting it close and giving them Arsenal a little bit of reprieve. Arsenal should have considered at least 7 goals in that game. I'm being realistic here. They did well to an extent. I'm talking about Arsenal. Though the first 30 minutes of the game was all about Brighton. Brighton could have easily been ahead like 3 goals before Arsenal woke up and like, oh, let's start attacking. The aspect of the Team B of Arsenal not living up to the Team A of the same Arsenal, what they've been doing this season is, I cannot say it is feasible. I cannot say that is what it is, because if as a team, right? Let me use Arsenal. We're talking about Arsenal. Let me use Arsenal as an example. Team A, Team B will play as Team A is playing. Team D, even Team G or Team M would play exactly the same way the first team is playing, because the coach has his philosophy that will pass around. If you want to promote an academy player or the Team B player to the first team, you cannot be playing a different kind of football. If you want to put them into the first team, you have to play the same kind of football. So this is the thing we have always been saying about Arsenal. Do they have the mental fortitude to bear this whole season, or when players get injured, how about their reserve team? Would they be enough to fill in the void? You are seeing that right now. Besides Eddie Nketiah, Who was it? Who was impressive again? Kieran Tierney to an extent. I can't really say. That is this is as worrisome as can be for both Arsenal fans and the manager in particular, Arteta. You'll be looking at, okay, this is my team B. I've given them the opportunity. Look at what they did. You cannot tell me they were not the good team on that day. Brighton were not even playing with their team as well. They were playing
a lot of rotation,
whole lot of rotation, and you got beat at your backyard for 3-1 after you even scored first. So I'm going to say it here. Arteta has been using the lucky charm in the Premier League because his players have been in top form, no injury problems, and all. The World Cup is already here, and we know how injuries come. We have been seeing them. Players are getting injured every day. So I feel Arteta should have his work cut out for him during the January transfer window because he needs to strengthen the squad with, how would I put it, grade A players for your team to have enough squad depth. If you are banking on what this team B that we saw are going to give you, sorry, Arteta,
you should be worried.
Seriously
Okay,
worried.
but shout out to Thomas, beg your pardon, Roberto De Zerbi, right there, and his boys right now, and
he's still unbeaten.
But no, he has lost. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, he has lost. I think so. I'll try to get that. But they've been able to bounce back. Is what it is. They had those back to back draws, even though they were impressive. But now the wins are starting to come in for them, and they're getting that. So shout out to them. But it's also very interesting the fact that the squad, the side of it is Arsenal, kind of balanced. A lot of rotation actually happened in that squad as well. Everybody trying to get the much needed rest, as it were. So yeah, let's see if why do I keep calling this man Thomas? Roberto De Zerbi would be able to, consolidate on that and have his team go on this run of fine form that they are currently on. I mean, it doesn't get better than beating Arsenal, beat Chelsea over the last 3 weeks. Game on. Wow. Okay, still on the EFL Cup, we had Southampton taking on Sheffield Wednesday, getting a win finally after the former manager now has gone.
Technically, it's not a win. It's a draw technically.
But they went through. They went through. Penalty is part of football, FYI. So 1-1, it ended. Jim Rose-Prowse converted from the penalty spot after Josh Wenders had put Sheffield Wednesday in front in this one. Were you impressed with Southampton?
Kind of to an extent. It's not easy to try and work as a freelance team. I'll call it a freelance team because they don't have a manager. Nathan Jones is yet to be appointed officially. I think he resumes on Monday. So I'll just say I'm actually kind of impressed with them. Although they faced a championship side in Sheffield Wednesday, but they do play football too. Sheffield Wednesday. They don't just count the days of the week and wait till Wednesday for just. So I was impressed. First time I'm seeing James Ward-Prowse name all season.
Ouch.
I'm just saying. The first time I've seen his name all season. They won via penalties. They are on to the next round. Nathan Jones has his work cut out for him when he resumes on Monday. So let's see how they go from here, Southampton.
Shout out to them. They are through to the next round of the EFL Cup. Away from that, we also had a couple of more Premier League teams in action. We had West Ham taking on Blackburn Rovers, and West Ham are out. It was quite an exciting penalty. Before the penalties, actually, we had 4 goals in actual time of the game. 2-2 it was. Very good goals, we have to mention. We had Blackburn Rovers going ahead, and I was like, David Moyes, can you see what I'm saying? Jack Bell, the man who got the goal as early as the 6th minute for Blackburn, and then Pablo Fornals also having a very good goal. 1-1 is stood. Then Mikel Antonio put West Ham ahead, and it was looking like okay, win-win. No, said Diaz. What a goal he was. I'm not talking about Lewis, not one of
not
Liverpool. Okay, Bien Bertrand Diaz is his name, and he puts Blackburn level 2-2. We went into penalties. Very exciting round of penalties. Very painful for Ogbonna. I mean, 10-9 penalties. Showed the quality both sides. Came 2, came 4. But hey, Blackburn are through.
They literally came prepared. Like two of them felt like they prepared penalties for the game. They had to because they knew it was going to enter the penalty shootout. But prior to the penalty shootout, the 90 minutes as a whole, Blackburn didn't come out as a championship side. No, they came to play West Ham like oh, we are here for you. And first goal by Vale was a very nice one. For now, Nicolai is a very nice one, more nicer one. Then Antonio, as you said before, my guy Diaz got the equalizer. More woes for David Moyes, in particular. Besides Europe, well, I'm not going to say more woes. To an extent, they should be a little bit relieved because they are literally in the Europa Conference League, which is even harder than the Europa League. Because the way they they travel to Macedonia, places that they Gibraltar,
part of Europe, really.
So I feel they should not really feel bad about it. It was a full-time draw. They did their best, and they lost some penalties. And Ogbonna himself, the penalty he played was not really bad. So
it should have been a stun of a goal if that had gone in. But hey. Okay, and away from that, we had other action. Okay, Newcastle are still riding on that wave. They played out a goalless draw against Crystal Palace, but they went through on penalties 3-2. Eddie Howe and his boys, nice one. Yeah. For Patrick Vieira, not so much.
No, not so much, but they were balanced after the 90 minutes. They were balanced. They were balanced. They played each other out. I feel like Newcastle and Eddie Howe are heading the right way. Your league form is more than impressive. You do not have any other commitments aside this League Cup and the FA Cup that is coming in. So if you say you want to focus your full attention on this League Cup and the FA Cup, you stand a chance. And you still have a huge shout for the European place in the Premier League. They are, like I said before, the appointment of Eddie Howe is
Newcastle's biggest signing.
Biggest signing, if you ask me.
All right, and let's see who they're going to be facing up to or with. I think any team facing Newcastle right now should be aware. Should be very aware.
They don't know how to lose.
Absolutely. Manchester City 2, Chelsea 0, and the woes for Graham Potter and Chelsea Football Club does continue. They were unimpressive in the London derby against Arsenal. They got beat 1-0. For Manchester City now, we can't expect that they're going to face problems if they continued in the run and in the performance and in the gameplay and plan we've been seeing for the past 4 weeks now. It was worrisome. I mean, it's been draws. You drew to Brentford, you lost to Arsenal, you lost to Brighton. Now you're losing to Manchester City, and it just goes from bad to worse, I guess. We had a very interesting Manchester City side. A lot of rotation that happened for Pep Guardiola's side. Riyad Mahrez, what a goal. Julian Alvarez, what a goal. And 2 goals, I guess, just my same team as to the dominance of Manchester City on tonight.
Yep, they totally owned Graham Potter's Chelsea over the course of last night. They, even while starting most of their fringe players, they outplayed Chelsea to a detrimental state that I felt. Why you guys started with some of your own star players too. You had players rested, right? I'm talking about Chelsea. You had players rested at factors. But you started out players. I saw Kofuela there. I saw Kalidou Koulibaly there. Who was the goalkeeper on the night? Edouard Mendy is there. They had players there. So, Graham Potter.
I think his job is at risk.
When Pep Guardiola was having his pre-match press conference and he was adulating and giving him praises. Yes, I'm pouring him so much adulation, giving him this time I was like, Guardiola, you did not fear God because you don't know you're going to kill this person. And
but no, they didn't kill them.
Alan didn't play. Foden didn't play. KDB did not play.
Yeah.
Bernardo Silva did not play.
Yeah.
If these boys had played,
Even Rodri was not.
Casablanca
Oh,
that
Rodri
went
was
to
in action. My
Mexico.
bad. Rodri was in action.
Rodri was in action.
They're good looking, and it was quite a strong City side. But a lot of, I'm just saying, a lot of rotations did happen.
Good,
Yes, we have to say
good.
that. But it was still a strong side,
Yeah,
and they
so
gave Chelsea a run for their
Chelsea
money.
out of the League Cup. Back-to-back defeats to big teams. One of the big six teams. Arsenal bamboozled you at your home
Did they though?
because it was 1-0.
Yeah. So
They went to the Etihad feeling like, why do we even go in the first place? Why not just write a letter that we have lost this game? They just went into the ground. The security man was just that's his job, stand and look, security man. I ain't seen nothing from Chelsea. They deserve to be ousted, and it is what it is. Graham Potter. I believe in Graham Potter. Hello?
You don't kick a man when he's down. But you're kicking the man.
No, I'm being serious.
It's not kicking. Next. So I don't envy him.
Now we are gonna see, because after the takeover was completed for Newcastle, there were a couple of coaches lined up, and one of the few favorites, apart from Eddie Howe, was Graham Potter. So now I want to see what Graham Potter is going to be doing against Newcastle with a better team than Newcastle.
Okay, and we're still on the League Cup, in case you're wondering. Liverpool taking on Derby County. It was goalless at full time, and very interesting game. Not for Jurgen Klopp, considering how much his side dominated play, created better chances, but still unable to do the needful against Derby County. They went into penalties, and the man of the moment, we have to say, has to be Liverpool's number 2 man in goal. Kelleher had a stellar game. We know he is the man to call on for penalties for Liverpool in between the sticks. He would edge Alisson in that regard, and he showed his mettle this time around. After the game, we saw Jurgen Klopp throw him, adulate him, praise him. We have the best number 2 in the world. As expected, we thought he was going to say anyway. But going into this one now, very good one for Liverpool. Not so great the full 90 minutes and couldn't get something, even score a goal and perhaps have it ruled out. But they didn't do that, and a lot of rotations did happen. But do you think Jurgen Klopp was going to be impressed in total play from his boys?
He has to be impressed. He has to be impressed. The bunch and the talk of the team that started with rotational players that they were yet to even play a single minute this season. Nat Phillips, Bajcetic, Oxlade-Chamberlain, loads of fresh faces.
A couple of these guys,
fresh faces. It's all the same way they started they played this same competition last season. They were using French players. To an extent, it felt like Pep Lijnders, that's the assistant coach of Liverpool, was the main coach for the League Cup and the FA Cup to an extent. So they started out with the same kind of set of players. I said Chelsea. Liverpool were totally dominant all 90 minutes. Klopp should be proud of that. But them not taking their chances, especially some chances, like this was a goal, this is a goal, this is the goal. It didn't happen to be a goal. He should be worried about that. Well, you should be worried to an extent. You should be worried that if I had to call up on you when I need a goal, this is how you'll be doing. But you guys need to deliver. Kudos to Derby County. They held their own, and well, as you said, Kelleher, the Irishman, is an amazing asset when it comes to set pieces, and he showed his class again. So Liverpool on to the next round. Good one for them.
Okay, Manchester United taking on Aston Villa is the last round of game we have for the third round of the EFL Cup, and after that we get to the rounds, to the draws. Later tonight. United fell to Aston Villa in the Premier League, and they didn't just fall. They did that spectacularly. Villa were the better side on the night, on the day, and they got the much needed, the deserved goal and win and everything nice, basically. But we know it's a new manager. That was his first game in charge, talking about Unai Emery. Now this is the second time both managers are facing off in less than a week. What do you think is going to be the feedback? What is going to be the response from Eric Ten Hag's side?
A different kind of results, a different kind of team in particular. This Aston Villa, same against Manchester United, but loads of rotation has to take place. this is the League Cup. They have a Premier League game in a few days' time. So, and the World Cup is already here. I'm so sure they will not want to risk it. The first day of management for us for any managers I've said here, the boys want to overly impress them. From the first, second, and at least 3 to 4 games, the trying to impress the manager would be the most priority for these guys. That's what they want to do, and the manager will stifle up the defense. Oh, I faced Manchester United before, beat them 3-1 a couple of days ago. You boys can go back and beat them. And they're not be looking like I got bamboozled, I got embarrassed by Unai Emery. This is not going to happen again. He would have to do some rotations, but I still see him starting a couple of star players. If Cristiano Ronaldo starts this night, I won't be surprised. If David De Gea starts this night, I won't be surprised. If Casemiro starts this night, I would not be surprised. Erik ten Hag is a manager that takes each and every competition like a UEFA Champions League. He wants to play you, he wants to win, he wants to do all sorts. And Emery, we know Emery is one of the most tactically genius manager there is. In a game, this man can use 4 different formations in one game. So I feel this should be more balanced than their previous game, and let's see who wins.
Let's see who wins away from the EFL Cup. Let's go now to the Serie A, where Napoli extend their run at the top of the Serie A table, 2-0. They defeated Empoli. You had Lozano converting from the penalty spot, and then Zielinski doubling that, making that 2. But Empoli were also in action, just not in front of goal. There was a red card for them. Sebastiano Luperto was the man who got his working papers in the 74th minute. There has been a minor stumbling from Luciano Spalletti's side, but in the Serie A, stumble not. Apparently, they faced off with Atalanta over the weekend, which I feel was one of the biggest tests they have had all season, and now 8 points clear of the second place.
After
Milan.
how many games?
Yeah.
After how many games?
Come
on. Even when they are going to capitulate, I do not see them capitulating as much as losing.
It's 3 on the bounce.
3 on the bounce. It's looking hard. It is not as if it is impossible, especially Napoli. We know how Napoli is. But I've always said here that I believe more in Luciano Spalletti than I ever believed in any of their previous managers. I'm sorry at Ancelotti, but it's just the truth. I believe more in him, and because of the style of play and the amount of people he has to execute that kind of play for him. We are here talking about Kvaratskhelia. He's not going to the World Cup. Osimhen not going to the World Cup. Simeone, not sure Argentina is going to call him. Politano is not going because Italy is not going. Zambo not going. Most of his star boys aren't going. They have all the 3 weeks to themselves. Sleep in the sauna. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your life. Just know you are back to tip-top shape when the Serie A resumes. So this is their Serie A to lose. This is their Serie A to lose. Everybody should be fighting for second and third spots. This is their Serie A to lose, and I do not see them dropping any points. They are going to drop points, but I do not see them dropping the first position.
Okay, Cremonese held Milan to a goalless draw right there, and very interesting game. Let's look at the stats in this particular fixture now. Shall we? For me, it's quite worrisome for AC Milan how they've been topsy-turvy all season. Going into this game, you would argue that you would say no disrespect to Cremonese, but you would expect that AC Milan should be going into this game to get maximum points. That they were unable to do, and they had to settle for a draw. From every department, other than the goals, they were the better side on the day. They were the better side on the night. Yeah, and unfortunately, that didn't translate to a goal for them, and I think that's something they should be worried about.
They should really be worried about it. Cremonese did well all game, but why I feel Stefano Pioli shouldn't really be worried was this season they played through Rafael Leao, Ketelare, Messias, or Tonali, but all of them submit to one person, Olivier Giroud, and he was unavailable for this game. Remember, he had the record the previous game, so that also affected them in this game. They had chances, but their finisher was not available. So advantage Napoli. But
Yeah, because it just increases the
the
gap.
extra
Yeah.
2 points they dropped was what Napoli gained, and I feel Stefano Pioli should just be wary of him dropping more points from now on. So they did actually well. But Cremonese, kudos to Cremonese, they held their own. So
If I'm not going to
good one
win,
for
you're
them.
not going to beat us. That's what they did. Sassuolo won, Roma won. Um, okay, a couple of weeks back, we had Roma, maybe 2, 3 weeks. Roma were in the top 4 mix
Yeah,
right now. Now they're currently out of that, currently sitting 6th place.
but
And
points not too far.
not too far apart. Yeah, it's quite close, really,
Yeah,
apart from the first and second, because Napoli are
miles
heads,
ahead.
yeah, miles ahead of every other person. For Jose Mourinho, they fought tooth and nail to eventually get the goal, which I think they thought was a winner, coming from Tammy Abraham. Yeah. And in less than 5 minutes, as well, we were back in it. 1-1 it was. And do you think Jose Mourinho should be worried?
Also, I'm so sure it wasn't going to be worried after the final whistle. It was going to be very, very enraged. I pity his players after the final whistle because they had the better chances all game. Their chances were lesser than what
Sassuolo did.
Sassuolo had, Domenico Berardi and the likes. But Roma themselves didn't pass themselves in glory. They were shambolic in front of goal. They had to wait till Tammy Abraham got in. 9 minutes after he got the goal. As we said, they thought it was the winner. Then Pinamonti shocked them. Also, Mourinho shouldn't really be worried. His boys are not really far from top 4. They are doing good. I'm sure that's not where he wants to be, but he has to work with the kind of team he has. His team are not up there with the rest of the Serie A team quality wise, but they are doing their bit, and they are wasteful. They are wasteful, but I hope to God the backers of AS Roma listen to Jose Mourinho this
January transfer window
and get at least 2 or 3 more strikers, because the Belotti they got, I'm not seeing anything, nothing.
Okay, I mean, losing to Lazio over the weekend and now drawing to Sassuolo in midweek, not the best of times for AS Roma, but hey, they're still in the mix, and would argue that top 4 finish is surely possible. Who is going to be dropping out of the 4 for them to get in there, though, is the question. Lecce getting the better of Atalanta. Atalanta were ended their third loss of the season. Okay, so this game, very interesting. The fact that we had all the 3 goals that came in.
This is their 4th loss.
Oh,
Atalanta,
really?
yeah. This is the 4th loss.
In the league, which is ouch. Okay, so we had all the 3 games in this particular fixture. We had it come in the the first half, right? For Atalanta, yeah. And it's very interesting, yeah, the fact that before this game, before the weekend, Atalanta had lost only 1 game all season.
Yeah.
Then they lost to Napoli. Now back-to-back defeat for Gasperini, and that takes them to 5th on the log, which tells you how close it is. Like you lose kind of situation.
Straight up.
Shout out to Lecce, right? Massive shout out to them. They are somewhere embroiled in that relegation mix, but the 3 points takes them away from that. You know, it just gives them a bit more space, a bit more breathing room, and which they are going to be enjoying right now. But okay, they didn't have Zapata starting the season. He was injured. He's back. He got a goal in the fixture, but it wasn't enough to get Gasperini into it. And the second half, which I actually expected better from them, they did come out, right? They didn't get anything, no.
No, so just really thinking about it now. Gasperini, would I say he has the owners to blame or himself to blame? His main star boys that we know, Atalanta, massive attack, massive defense. Them conceding 2 goals is not new. It's absolutely not new. Especially with the fact that those 2 goals were scored within the space of a minute. They got those
60 seconds
60
or
seconds
less.
apart. They got their 2 goals. Then Zapata got 1. But the main problem I think I've realized Atalanta has, but Gasperini's tactical genius has not really made it very obvious, is the fact that most of their boys that used to give them those plenty goals, those attacking impetus that they have are missing. Papu Gomez is gone. He has left. He's gone to Sevilla. Malinowski is not even Malinowski anything this season. Pasalic is yes, Pasalic.
That's the question.
Zapata just go back from injury. Jeremy Boga is just probably just eating Boga on the bench. I don't know what is wrong with him. Ademola Lookman has been their only shining light, and Ateboa. And to just think about it, Ateboa is a right back. They have problems with their attacking threat right now. They need players to continue in that state. I know we all know what Papu Gomez used to give to these boys. The same Papu Gomez that is at Sevilla and their number 10 before. He was the main carrier. He was the tormentor in chief. When he gets the ball, all he just
Spread
needs
the
is
pass.
just look up. And whenever I say gets the ball, he doesn't get the ball in his own half. It is in your own half, opposition half. And when he gets to look up, one is running. He has options to give. But these days, no Papu Gomez to spray the passes, no Malinowski, no Zapata is just back, no Pasalic. They have crisis up top, but it has not really been reflecting. That is why the number of goals they have scored has minimized.
Dwindled actually. Usually
lot.
this time of the season you're having Atalanta scoring in, they're in double figures, of course. We're expecting more than 20 plus goals. That's what they've been doing. Even though they're going to concede
At
exactly
least-
the same thing,
yeah.
but they're going to give you the
20
goals.
goals
and you
by
see
now.
that,
I want on the norms. Atalanta would have given you 30.
plus goals,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate. And let's see if they can do some business in January and perhaps bolster that squad and give us Atalanta-esque kind of football back. All right, for Inter Milan, they were the biggest winners, and they had quite the win, quite the game against Bologna. I would prefer not to be a Bologna player right now. It's bad enough. Okay, fine. It was at the San Siro. Okay,
Yeah.
we know, but there is beat and there is beat. 6 goals to 1. Like, I didn't see the game. I had to catch it. Check out the action later this morning. And like 6, I'm like, are you sure it's not a Bundesliga result? Because it sounds like a Bayern-esque.
Exactly. And this is
kinda
actually what Bayern
thrashing.
go prior to this.
You know,
I'm listening
I
to that.
expected that kind of game, and Bologna were actually lucky not to concede more than 6 goals. Edin Dzeko had opportunities to get a trick. He hit the post. The post was not his friend that particular game. That talking about the yesterday's fixture. And okay, so let's look at the goal scorers. Edin Dzeko, and what's very exciting or interesting is the fact that Bologna scored first.
They wish they didn't.
I think, yeah, Nico Giannis was the man who got the first goal in the game, and
Without him even knowing he scored yet.
right, very interesting. And then, okay, 1 goal to 0 it was, and Dzeko pulled it back. Then you had DeMarco, who had a game and a half. He could have gotten more than 2 goals that he did. Lautaro finally came through, got a goal. Chanaloglu wasn't missing from that place, and goal sense, yeah, showed he has a goal sense. And then 6 goals to 1 it was. And I don't know, what do you think is going through Inzaghi's mind right now?
Now my boys can score 6. My boys can score 6. I'm surprised. Lautaro can score. Wow.
Well, he has scored this
DeMarco
season
can
now.
score that kind of goals. Wow.
Right.
I'm talking about Inzaghi. If I was Inzaghi, that's what I'll be telling each and every one of them when we get to the dressing room. Oh, so you can score like this. I'm surprised. So you can score like this. Ooh. The only person I'm not going to go face is Edin Dzeko. Edin Dzeko is quality. He has been their main man this season. Did you see his goal?
I did.
Edin Dzeko, please, Edin Dzeko's goal, if you have not seen go see, it's on pure filth. Ow! Guy did it from that place.
Balanced himself well, took it down. No keeper was getting that. 10 keepers weren't stopping that.
At all.
Actually.
So this should be a very, very nice spring in their step. I'm talking about Inter Milan. They should there's no one talking about Bologna. they should how do I put this? They should be moving from this strength to strength. The absence of Lukaku is not telling right now. They got all the deserved 3 points. Added extra 3 goals to 0. 3 goals they had 6 goals. DeMarco getting 2 goals. Edin Dzeko, as we said, Lautaro, Chananoglu with the penalty and all. See, this is good for Inzaghi. He would want his boys to continue from this, but Inter Milan this season has not really been in tip-top shape. This win just moves them up to 4th. They are, I think, like almost 10 points behind.
Adrift of Napoli,
and it's way too much. So I feel like Inzaghi will be proud of this if his boys over this game, but it will look to tell them like if you can do 6 against Bologna, try doing 7 in your next game. If you can't do 7, do 5, do 4. Be attack minded. Give us what we want. Come on.
And it's not for lack of chances created. They can't just do better in front of goal. Like
Funny
you
enough, I
mentioned.
didn't see Barella at all. Can you imagine? Barella is number 1 player this season. Not even Dzeko. Barella.
Yeah, it's been quite impressive.
And I was not even amongst the goals. Just
telling you something, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, away from the Serie A, let's go over now to the Bundesliga, where Dortmund were beaten by Wolfsburg 2-0. Mickey van der Ven, the goal scorer first for the first goal, and then you had Mecha getting the crowning goal for Wolfsburg. Did I see this result coming? I would tell you no. I didn't. I promise you I didn't. But game on, Wolfsburg.
Now, I actually saw it coming to an extent because Wolfsburg have been on a 8 match unbeaten run prior to this game. Either 8 or 7 match unbeaten run prior to this game. Dortmund have been here and there, and they just had a game a few days prior to this one. And we know Dortmund, they are all youth, mostly youth. Schlotterberg, small boys. Even Sula, small. Adeyemi, Mokoko, Mugari, all of them are small boys. It is what it is. I feel like Wolfsburg and Mecha deserve the win, especially Mecha. My boy was in tears after the goal. So good one for the Wolfsburg team. Edin Terzic should not really be worried. His boys, they put up a fight, but the better team won on the night. So good one.
Good one for Wolfsburg, not so much for Dortmund though. Let's see if they can bounce back in their next game over the weekend. Let's see what we're going to be expecting in that one. For the game I already hinted you guys about, Bayern 6, Werder Bremen 1. Yeah, as you expect, the usual goal scorers. You know them already, but I'll do well to do a recap of that action. Jamal Musiala got the first goal. We had Anthony John.
That name. Call it with some passion.
Jamal Musiala. So 1-1 is stood, but Gnabry said, excuse you. He got a hat-trick in that one, Leon Goretzka. I had to ask myself like that, are you sure this man, you're not trying to get to Choupo-Moting's position? That kind of goal is not what midfielders normally used to score. No, come on. And then Tel also decided to get in the action. And yeah, what an action it was. 6-1. Bayern now taking advantage of the fact that Union Berlin dropping points yesterday.
Taking advantage. Or Union Berlin was taking advantage that Bayern Munich were dropping points at the beginning of the season.
I don't understand.
I've told you before, Union Berlin were just borrowing that position for a couple of weeks. They have relinquished it naturally. So, if it was Borussia Dortmund, I would say they are holding forth for Bayern Munich until next season, until next year.
It's not. See, no, not
the middle of the season.
It's not your fault. Is this ball that Abujumi there?
What did they play over the weekend? It's not over midweek. It's not 2-2. They lost midweek 2-2.
And they didn't just lose over the weekend. They did it in such a fantastic fashion.
Amazing fashion over against Leverkusen.
5 goals. Oh God.
Good one for Gnabry. Hat-trick. He's back in top form. I think the air he was making before was giving him problems.
Yeah, losing it.
He's losing it. He's losing all the bodies. More time to score goals. Goretzka, Matthias Tel. That's more sweet. But that's my guy. Sweet goal. Nagelsmann. Yeah, Julian Nagelsmann should be like. We should be able to score 8 in the next game. Let's go again. Let's go score 8. So
okay, and let's see if Bayern can continue this.
Only one bad news about that day was Sadio Mane. So why did they start Sadio Mane in the first place? You rested Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting.
I think.
And you started Sadio Mane. You rested Leroy Sané. You started Sadio Mane. Why?
Well, you cannot say it's not going to make rotations. It's going to drop certain players for
not for Sadio Mane.
And I'm just saying that you would expect that all these boys they actually need the match fitness going into the World Cup. So it's it's unfortunate.
Sadio Mane has always been fit.
It's unfortunate.
From birth.
Okay. Now to the La Liga. Osasuna 1, Barcelona 2. They had to really dig deep to continue to hold the spot at the top of the table. Osasuna going in ahead in this one, and actually they could have gotten more goals than they did. In fairness, we have to say, but David Garcia was the man who opened the scoring, and Pedri getting 1 goal back in the second half. As soon as the second half started, 1-1. What a goal that was actually! And then Rafinha said, "Pedri, you're not going to." watch me do this. And he showed him our strikers do score, and what a goal that was.
Yeah.
2 goals to 1, 3 points in the bag. But Lewandowski out with a very, very interesting, tackle that led to him having getting sent off, basically.
Yeah. Very, very unlike Robert Lewandowski. Very unlike him. Probably the man he went to tackle had said something to him before. He should understand you are a football player. You're a professional football player. You should understand that don't let people get under your nerves, especially after you've had the yellow card. Right? You had the yellow card before. Why go for that in the 31st minute? Lewa, 31st. That's the first half, and you are the only hope they have of getting, not only hope, but major hope they have of getting goals. You are the main man. You are the point man. Why do well? It is what it is. It's football. He had a rush of blood to his head, and I'm pretty sure he'll be regretting it now. Especially Gerard Piqué. Your final match as a football player. Your final of the final match as a professional football player, and that is how you are going to end it. Saying all those words, getting yourself an unnecessary and unneeded red card. If you are just seated, if you are just stayed on your own path, you would have been enjoying the win for yourself right now. Look at that De Jong pass for Rafinha's winner.
Stuff of dreams.
Come on, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. And Barcelona 37 points they have at the top of the La Liga table with 14 games played. Atletico Madrid right there were not able to do the same against Mallorca. Mallorca getting 1 goal, 3 points in the bag, and the woes of Diego Simeone just continue and his boys.
Yep. I think I'm being vindicated again. As I was here blasting him, we were here fighting for him. Like, no, he's been doing well now. He has won league with them now. Yep. As you can see, this is Mallorca. Not about mounting Mallorca. He could not get a goal against Mallorca. Did you see Mallorca's? Did you see Muriki's goal? Where were their defense? Like where? I cannot say Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone, their relationship is already turning sour, and it's just not really sour. Why you have some players in that team that are already turning against you doesn't make any sense. You have João Felix is already against you. You have Thomas Lemar already against you. Rodrigo De Paul was on the bench. You had to bring him in. The whole Rodrigo De Paul. Come on, Axel Witsel, whom you signed, is just the one trying to hold forth in the midfield, and the back can only do as much as legs can do.
Okay, let's see how
Simeone.
Atletico Madrid will be able to turn their season around. They've not been doing terribly, okay, but by their standards, we expect better from them. They've only had 5 points from their last 5 games. It's been a mix of defeats, draws, and no wins. So, okay, there has been a win in the last 5. Okay, my bad. All right, for tonight's action, we have Real Madrid taking on Cadiz after their stumble against Rayo Vallecano over the weekend. Not weekend, actually, it was on Monday. Yeah, so they allowed Barca that much breathing room. I mean, there was just a point difference between them. Now, Barcelona currently are 5 points clear before Real Madrid do play. Do you think Cadiz will be able to cause Real some trouble?
I almost did what I did when you asked me about Rayo Vallecano against Real Madrid. So I think I've learned my lesson, and I'm going to I
love that.
I'm going to say it with a little bit of respect. Cadiz are a La Liga team. They just got promoted. They are doing well for themselves. I actually love it. But them getting a point of Real Madrid right now seems like a huge mountain to climb. Madrid have not won in back-to-back La Liga games. This is the first time this season. I am not seeing them do the 3-peats. And is at the Santiago Bernabeu. Cadiz might be spelt. Just saying. Thank you.
Yes, you said you're going to say with respect.
Might.
It's fine.
I said might.
Cadiz, I trust you guys to show me what you're made of. Okay, but it looks like Karim Benzema will not be in action, and that's going to be a major absence for Carlo Ancelotti.
Should we talk a little bit about Benzema? Like 5 minutes? Talk about Benzema 2 minutes?
1 minute.
1 minute, right? Karim Benzema, all of last season, was the only player was the only player, I'd say that 3 times, that turned up for Real Madrid, game in, game out, for the whole 38 games, for the whole Champions League campaign, for the whole Copa del Rey. Don't get it twisted. They had Luka Modric and the likes doing their bits. But Karim Benzema was the go-to man. After Karim Benzema was Vini Jr. Vini Jr. is literally a junior to Karim Benzema in age. Vini Jr. is just how old right now? 21, 22 right now. Benzema is 35. He's the oldest Ballon d'Or winner. This man earned his much needed rest. We know how much congestion the whole calendar is. It's way too much. We are only planning they are only planning their focus on Real Madrid and Karim Benzema because he has already been their go-to man in front of goals. He was not available against Girona, unavailable against the rival Vallecano, and you had Real Madrid for fans bashing the same man that won you the Champions League last season almost single-handedly. Same man you have been bashing. He needs rest. World Cup is already here.
Actually, it's the World Cup. They've been saying that he's prioritizing France over Real Madrid.
This man has been prioritizing Real Madrid literally over his own life to an extent.
Carlo Ancelotti has come out to say it's absolutely nonsense.
It's absolutely nonsense. If you want to face somebody, you're going to face Memphis Depay. Memphis Depay, where has he been for Barcelona? Yes, he's telling me he's injured and he's in the Netherlands squad for the World Cup. Please, Real Madrid, Madridistas, please should be calm in assessing Karim Oluwafifehami Benzema. They should please.
I don't know where that middle name came from. Okay, I can tell you guys.
No, listen to the middle name. Oluwafifehami. Yes or no? God bless Benzema. Have you not bless Benzema?
Okay, yeah. Your point. Okay, and that brings us to the close of today's show. It's been quite the journey. We've had the Carabao, we had the Serie A, the Bundesliga, and we finished it up with the La Liga. Okay, of course, we're going to be having a next edition. Make sure you keep it a date with us on Saturday. We're going to be talking about the weekend action, as it does. We don't have enough time to talk about that. We're going to run out of time if we do that. Okay,
straight up.
We hope you had fun. We hope that you're going to prioritize your safety, as we always preach on the show. Okay, life is way too short not to experience football, like I always say, but ensure that you prioritize your safety. Okay, if you're driving, be responsible. If you're a pedestrian, also be responsible. We all have our parts to play in reducing the accidents that actually occurs on our road. Our inactions and actions are what causes these accidents. Okay, we need to do our best to reduce that. We are still your #1 online television station, and we bring it to you hot, premium, entertaining, educative shows. So keep it a date with us, keep it logged right here, and don't move a muscle. Okay, so we'll come away again next time. Adios and bye for now.
Bye.
Hey there, so you think you know about football? Join me, Omola Bakaraji, on CTV every Tuesdays and Thursdays and put your football knowledge to the test. You stand a chance to win up to 5 gigabytes of data. All you have to do is to follow us across our social media handles and answer the question on there correctly to participate on the live quiz show.